Raw Wednesday, welcome yet again to another Raw Wednesday. Apologies last week, didn't have it basically. Things are getting busy now, which is good, and but on the flip side, I don't have as much time to go out, do the vlogs, do the Raw Wednesdays, all that. I did do the video last week looking at the DJI Air 2S and the landscape photography capabilities, which is the kind of videos I'd like to do a bit more often. Kind of a bit more technical, a bit more city down, talking about things, reviewing things. I kind of enjoy all that, and I've been getting my little shed together, just running out electrics to it the other day. I've been having to run the old spindle cable. It's just a phrase I just made up. What do you call it? Extension lead. Spindle cable, extension lead out beforehand, but now proper electrics running in and everything, so that is very good. Makes my life easier. What else? What else? Yeah, I was down, as you would have seen, in Achill, which is, or up in Achill, because that's north of me, which is stunningly beautiful. And if you're outside of Ireland, it is really a hidden gem of a place to visit. Stunningly beautiful. All west coast, all along the west coast is amazingly beautiful. And if you ever get a chance to come over and do some of it, definitely have to do it. Hire a camper van, do whatever, road trip it, stay in different Airbnbs along the coast. It is stunning. It is really amazingly stunning. Yeah, so yeah, photo shoot went well. That was really good. You can see one or two pictures on Instagram, I'm sure. Got another wedding that I'm recording this now, but it's this weekend or last weekend as you're watching this. Another wedding, second wedding of the year. I did one in January. It's been a bit of a gap, but good to be back on it. Yeah, up in Dublin. So spending the time up in Dublin, we booked a hotel for a few nights. Me and the wife, a few days in Dublin. Got to shoot this wedding, which would be nice. And then we booked a nice country hotel in Kildare for a few nights as well. And then, yeah, so just kind of getting back into real life, you know, getting busy, doing these things, which is good, which is nice. And I hope everyone is well and getting back to their normal lives. Anyway, let's look at the pictures. I've got a few, it's not many, but there's one or two. Now, this was the initial kind of idea I had looking at this one. Just that big old wide shot, you know, 35mm, and I tell you what, it makes it so much easier when you can drive up to the top of a mountain. There's swings and roundabouts to it, because a lot of people came up. Some were flying drones, some were just having their fish and chips up there, you know, watching the sunset. So there's swings and roundabouts to that, because it makes it a lot more accessible to other people. Whereas sometimes when you have to hike up these things, you know, you've worked hard for it, you know, you got this to yourself, basically. No one's going to come. Well, realistically, you normally get a lot of these places to yourself. Not too many people come up at the same time, unless it's like the old man store or something like that, which a lot of people do get up at 3 or 4 in the morning to go take pictures from. But anyway, yeah, beautiful view this. You've got Keem Bay over here. There's the little cliff road that drives to it. This is Kill Beach, which is a very tiny little village. And as I discovered the next morning, because I went down, here we go, you can see there's a caravan park here. And I kind of just drove around, and I drove down this road here. And here we go, you can see someone's just camped here. And that is the amazing thing about Ireland, you just can't do that. Some people want to pay for having some kind of nice little campground and that, but literally plonk your car there, plonk your tent in the dunes, There were some like public toilets over here. You know, you got a little shop, a pub. You could camp there, easy peasy. So, yeah, and cheap. And that's a beautiful thing. Nice and cheap. That's what I love about camping. Back to basics and cheap. Apart from all the equipment. Yeah, so that shot, which is a bit of a test shot. Then this one, which I shot slower shutter speed, or a faster shutter speed even, just to bring down the clipping on the histogram. This clipping here. I mean, how much can we recover? It's quite amazing how much you can recover from these modern sensors. I mean, it's just this real highlighty bit here that we're trying to save. I suppose a bit around here we're bringing back. Anyway, but then this is dark, but then it's amazing what you can bring up. You know, the detail, the dynamic range you can get from these cameras. Anyway, we're messing around. Let's look at the other picture. I then got the long lens out and zoomed in on what I've discovered to be black rock, which when you look like in this composition here, it doesn't look that far away, but when you look on a map, you think, flipping it, that is really far away. Now I chose this one to edit just because if you look at this kind of light here, it's these first few shots, it's kind of in the distance, and then boom, it's come forward, and I just think it has a bit of nicer graduation of dark to light and dark to light and dark again, rather than that one, which is a bit more off in the distance. Kind of helps highlight the black rock itself also. And look at this little fishy boat. I might keep that in there rather than get rid of it. Anyway, let's just quickly edit this one. So this is the lovely thing about Raw Wednesdays. Sometimes there's images that I just don't show you on the video, so you get to see them. And we'll have a quick edit here. Let's reset all that. I did get rid of this dust, this really annoying consistently there dust spot, which I think is a bit of dust in the lens itself rather than on the sensor, because yeah, I didn't, any of the shots I took for the photo shoot I did the next day didn't have any dust spots, so it's got to be the lens. And I keep checking the lens and the sensor anyway. Can't see any dust on it, so it must be the lens. Anyway, what are we going to do? Well, we've got a lot of dynamic range here to play with. Light up here, dark here. So let's try and create some kind of balance to begin with. Let's bring the highlight down, not too much. Bring the shadow up, again, not too much, because when you really stretch it out, it looks so unnatural and too HDR fake. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to start with the composition. I think this might be a 16:9. I'm never a fan down here. You can see the hill or the mountain running away from me. I'm never a fan of having that in the shot. So let's immediately get rid of that. And now it looks like a drone shot, an extremely high quality drone shot. Although it feels like there's too much sky in it. It feels unbalanced. So maybe I do want to do like a different, more like this. No, let's do unbalanced. Didn't want that. 16. Let's do 16:9 again, but let's it in more like this. There we go. Happy with that. Let's just make sure our horizon is level. Yeah, I'd say so. And okay, it's nice. This, I like this sweeping coastline composition, bringing us, the eye kind of comes around here, over to here. Kind of like that. Okay, now I could bring the exposure up half a stop. It's getting a bit dusky. Let's do it half a stop. And now let's split the image like I like to do. Sky, L, shortcut, Shift. That pumps a noise, making that noise again. Now my phone's not working. Oh, come on. Apologies. Right, let's get back to it. So L and then Shift, and that keeps it straight. Let's M, let's see, kind of do it there. Right, now let's add another layer. Land, copy from sky, and M for invert, and there we go. Boom. Two masks dividing the scene. Now I want a bit more exposure on the land, but it's got that kind of mistiness, haziness, so we need to add a bit of natural contrast in there by bringing down the blacks. I can push up the whites a little bit, but let's not do it too much. 40. Oh, yet again, the thing I forget to do, the lens profile, Sigma. This was the 24 to 105. I'm terrible with the old lens profiles, honestly. Do we want a bit of clarity, a bit of structure? This sharpens it up, makes it pop a little bit. Now, I don't believe... Oh, there's a nice bit of... Sometimes it's worth just popping the saturation slider right up, because you start to see colours come through that you didn't realise were there, like here, reflecting in the water. So maybe we want to try and bring that out a bit, which we will do a little later on. So that's, I'm just doing some basic adjustments for now. I might bring the shadow up actually. No, let's not do that. Sky. Now, saturation. We're going to put a bit of saturation in there. 25. I'm going to bring a little bit of shadow, a bit more shadow, just brings out the mountains a bit more. And I'm going to add a bit of contrast by adjusting the black and white points. Clarity. We can make it more dramatic with a bit of clarity. Let's just go for 10. And I won't do structure because it's all quite soft. I want it soft. Soft. Okay. So that's some general basic ones. Now we want to add in a bit of colour in here. So what we're going to do is make a brush, or a new layer. Let's call it reflection. And we're going to pick the brush, or B. Right click. Let's opacity and flow 50-50. I want it very soft. Probably about that size, and let's add some saturation. And then we're just going to brush it in. And a bit more in the skies here, just to make it pop. And we can see how much we've done, and we can always adjust it by, you know, using the slider now. Let's go with 30, but we might want to add a bit more contrast in there as well. Just helps it pop that a little bit more. Yeah, so we can just kind of see it creeping through there. So for now, I'm always impressed how much detail is in these images with the Sony A7riii. The A7R4 must be on another level. I don't know if that's actually kind of... Anyway. Yeah, there's Keene Beach. And actually on the photo shoot, because you can drive down here, there's car parking. You have to go early because it gets busy because it's so popular. Beautiful little beach here. It's like toilet block. There's basically nothing there apart from a toilet block and a beach. But took some photos on the beach with the couple I did for the photo shoot the next day, and then we hiked up here. I was really impressed. I didn't realise there would be... Oh no, this is it. We came up here. This little building here is like an old lookout. So we hiked up here. I was really impressed with them because it was like straight up 90 degree, well not 90 degrees, like 60-degree vertical. So yeah, that was good. And we got some great pictures at the top. It was really worth it. Anyway, that's the first image. I didn't think it was going to take this long, this Raw Wednesday, but I'm blabbering on. Right, next one. So yeah, I took a few. But I chose this one, so this is one we're going to edit. I don't think there's going to be too much to edit. I love this silhouette. There's a bit of detail in the in Black Rock there with the lighthouse. Just all about colours and shapes, and yeah, I love it. First of all, let's straighten this bad boy. Okay, now, do we want to keep this as 16? No, not 16 by 9. Like a 5.7. I love a 5.7. I love a 4.5 and I love a 5.7. I want to centre that lighthouse. 5.7 is my go-to crop for like weddings and photo shoots for couples. 4x5 is more my kind of landscapey. In fact, let's try 4x5. See how we feel. Maybe a tighter crop is better. Well, one beautiful thing is we can clone the variant and we can do a different crop and see what we prefer. So let's center it. Which one? They're quite similar. I think I'll go with the 5x7. So let's go with this. Delete that one. Right. And that's for my 5x7. Right, let's start with a bit of contrast. Let's pull out and stretch this black. Want it to the point it's almost clipping on the histogram up here. And the same the other way, they can go right up. In fact, we can actually use the highlight to actually, instead of pulling it back, we can stretch it out. Not too much. Do you want to add shadow? No, I kind of like this real black. I might just bring it up a touch. We go with 50 there. Now, saturation. No, don't want to pump it like that too much. It's going to be about 25. I got a feeling pushing that highlights really kind of stretched the tones and the hues a bit too much. Let's do it more like this. How do we feel about the exposure? Yeah, it's pretty bang on. I think I just want to crop it so that top cloud isn't in it. Bring it in a bit more. Yeah, I like that. It's a bit better. I think I want to bring these clouds out a touch more. So I'm going to make a brush, call it clouds. We're going to add clarity, I guess, and a bit of contrast. We can always adjust these after. And we've got the same settings as before, 50-50 on opacity and float, and let's just brush it in. I think let's turn the contrast, let's do clarity. 50. Bring down the shadow a bit. Now, certainly have a bit more pop in them. Does that add to the picture though? I'm going to say yes. Might just add a bit more. Saturation. Let's go with a bit more. There we go. Just a little bit more pop to them. Now, do I want to do anything with this? No, I like that kind of, it's got a very kind of blue tone, which reminds me, what is the white balance like? Can change the whole like feel of an image by changing the white balance. Do that. I think I just want to tone it down a bit, just to help bringing the blues out. I'm just bringing this down. And what if I bring this up? Neon 80s vibe. This is the kind of thing I'll play around with and then go, nah, let's just leave it as it was. Yeah, after all that, the balance is pretty good. I think maybe the exposure just needs popping up a bit. I mess around so much with these things and then end up going back. It's like 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward with me. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I think I'm going to leave it like that. So, there we go. Here's our 2 images. No, it's not what I wanted to do. That one and that one. Here we go. 2 beautiful images using 2 different lenses, but with the same scene. And this, you know, if I zoom in here, it's not too much later on did I take this one here. So yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching another Raw Wednesday. Next week, what's happening next week? Well, you will see part 2 of my trip to Achill up in the morning. We will be in a new month. We should be, hopefully, if I got my timing right, because the end of this month's challenge, which is the ICM, this is the last week, I believe. So next week, start of a new challenge. I spin the wheel on the next vlog, and you'll see what that is. I give it a go. And so next Raw Wednesday, we'll be looking at everyone's entries into the ICM, where kind of I'll look through the pictures I took and kind of pick one of my favourites from the ones that I took, kind of perhaps talk about what I learned, all this kind of thing. And also we'll look at the images and edit them from next week's vlog as well. So thanks for watching. Give us a comment, a deeply personal one that's going to really hurt me and make me cry. Please don't subscribe, don't like it, dislike it if anything, this video, because I know they're so long and boring and I burp, and yeah, so no, don't feel any need to put any positivity my way. I know how bad this is. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for enduring this week's Raw Wednesday. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. Signing out. Ciao for now.